All right, guys, let's check out the Scurfa Treasure Diver. Now, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, Scurfa is a company started by Paul Scurfield. He's actually a professional diver. Not when I say that, I don't mean he's like a professional diver, as in like he dives a lot and there, the people do like training and stuff like that. I'm like his job that he does requires him to dive, meaning that he has to dive to do his job, sort of thing. Okay. So he could wear whatever watch he wanted to. He discovered a kind of a need for affordable, good quality dive watches. He came out with, I think the Diver 1 was his, or at least his current main selling one. It's a quartz watch, and it is very heavy duty, well built watch for around 225, 250 range or something like that. But not that long ago, he came out with this thing. It's called the Treasure Seeker Automatic. You can see the hands, the seconds hand is sweeping. So this has a Miyota 9015 in it, and it is an automatic. Still that same sort of belief behind making a quality, affordable dive watch that is capable of actually doing the job that it's intended for. That's the same kind of spirit behind the watch. So let's cover the size and then some other topics regarding my thoughts on this watch. So I'm going to give you a few measurements regarding the case width because the case is uniquely shaped. But if you measure from like, say the 40 to the 10 here without the little bumps or crown guards, this is 40.4, okay? If you measure the bezel, it's 41. Now, if you measure the bumps or the crown guards on each side, is 43.8. But reality is it's a 41 millimeter watch, and it's going to wear like a 41. The lug to lug is only 48. You can see you have drilled lugs, and they turn down nicely. Signed crown TS for Treasure Seeker. That is a 7 millimeter crown. The thickness is only 12.4 millimeter. That's including that double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. 20 millimeter lug width. This 5-link bracelet tapers down to 18, and you have a fully milled out clasp. Simple double pusher there, 3 micro adjust. No dive extension. Why? Because if you want to dive with it, you put a strap on the watch that's longer and it's more useful and it's easily adjustable. So that's what I'm assuming was the thought process behind it. But the bracelet is actually really nice. I love that the polish links are inboard. They're going to be a little less prone to getting fully scratched up, but it also ties in really nice with the polished bits on this watch. If we zoom in, we can take a closer look at the transition from the brushed to the polish. You'll see that it is a very nice, sharply finished, consistent watch. You have a ceramic bezel insert, 120 click bezel. You can see the little traction here on the bezel. This is probably going to be my only gripe. I like the look of it. I like seeing that it's done a little bit different than the traditional type bezel grip, but the execution of it was a little too light. It needs to be more aggressive. I can turn it, but I do get slippage. My fingers, not the bezel. The bezel's tight. There's no play in the bezel. The bezel's amazing, but the traction or lack of traction could be an issue for some people. Doesn't bother me. I'm not big on fiddling with the bezel. Occasionally I will, just because I can't get it out of my system unless I do it, but I'm not one to just sit there and spin and spin and spin over and over. That being said, if there was going to be a version 2.0, I would like to see, hopefully there is, I would like to see a sharper bezel and maybe a little bit larger hand size. Other than that, I think the watch is spectacular. The Lume BGW9, it's also a loomed bezel. You're going to love the lume shot at the end. Of course, if we look at the dial itself, I love that pattern. If they make more of these, I hope they stick with that. The date at the 3 o'clock works totally fine for me. Kind of has a silvery date wheel in there. It's not quite white. In certain lights, I almost feel like it's a little silvery. Black printing. Black framed handset makes it super legible on the light colored dials for sure. There's a white one, there's an orange one, there's a yellow one, there's 2 different colors, blue and a black dial one. Each one, subtle difference, but I wanted the yellow. I don't have any yellow dial watches. I knew I wanted the yellow Scurfa after I checked out a couple of different dial colors. I think there was a black one and a blue one or no, there maybe it was a white one and a blue one at one of my meetups. A couple of Chicago guys had them. It was Mike and Josh both had them. But just and price point. You can still pick these up. They still have like the orange and I think the blue in stock. I'll put a link down below to the website. You can pick them up for like $450. That's US shipped. So that's kind of a legit good deal. Taking a look at the Caseback, it's actually kind of a special artwork done on that as well. You'll probably never see this. Well, I should say you'll never see this again, because this artwork was actually done by a guy that used to dive. His name is John Patterson, I think. And he had a couple of issues with decompression coming back up. You know, it's called the bends or something like that. But he had a couple of issues with that, and he can't dive anymore. But he also was an artist, and he did the artwork for the Caseback on this thing for the good folks over at Scurfa. So I ended up having to pick the yellow dial up off from an eBay seller. So I bought it, I want to say used or secondhand, but when it arrived to me, it appeared new. So I kind of lucked out on that. Now I did pay a premium. I think all in I was probably about $560. But even at that price point, I'm not mad at all. This is a great watch for around that $500 price point. If you can buy them brand new, like say you like the orange one or the blue one, I'd say go get them, because I don't know if they're going to make more of these. I suspect it might have been a one and done sort of thing. You know, they keep making the Diver 1 in different versions and even titanium. But who knows when they'll do this automatic one again. Like I said, I really hope to see a version 2.0 and keep going with the traction that this watch has, because it doesn't get a ton of attention, and hopefully my video will bring some more attention to the brand and to the treasure seeker, because I would really like, that was bugging me, it was like a click off. I would really like to see another version. So let's blast this guy real quick, kill the lights so you guys can check the lume on this. Excellent lume, long lasting, plenty of it applied, nice and consistent. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.